because I think we had one thing that came up today that was actually pretty timely, and,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really, made quite the splash in the aviation community today, and that is the so-called Maverick Bill that has been, advanced in the Senate. Now there's a lot of as a Tomcat super fan, I obviously had to look into this 'cause, there was a lot of misinformation that went around, I literally say flying
Holy
around the
cow.
internet
Yeah. Yeah.
today
Right.
on exactly what was happening. And so I dug into this just a little bit more. And what the Maverick Bill is so the F-14 Tomcat, of course, was retired in, I think it was like right around 2006.
Yeah. I think that's
And
right.
because Iran still operated at the F-14 Tomcat, there was a concern that any of the pieces and parts could be taken from the F-14 Tomcats that were retired and being sold or used to keep the
Hmm.
Iranian the Persian cats as they were called flying.
Yeah.
How much of that was a real threat, nobody will ever know. But that threat, sadly, no longer exists because it is believed that none of the Tomcats in Iran um, still fly, which is very sad. As like I said, Tomcat
It
super
is.
fan. I don't care who's flying it. It's incredibly sad. And this is not a
It's an
Tomcat sitting
awesome
next to
airplane.
me. This is Jax. He's going to come help us talk about cats here. Anyway, um, so now that the Tomcat, most of them were destroyed, both
Hmm.
by the United States. Right when they were retired, most of the airframes were cut up and gone forever. There's a few that exist, and there are three Tomcats that are at Davis Monthan Air Force Base in Arizona that are in basically long-term storage. Now, most of these were in that state were there as a temporary state until they were shredded. Some of them went to museums, but there are three that still exist. I think there's only something like 20 some Tomcats. I don't have the exact number. The
It's
number does
not very
fluctuate.
many. Yeah.
No, the number moves
It
because they
does.
were still actively shredding the aircraft. So because of that, there are three relatively complete airframes. One appears to be an earlier A model Tomcat. The other two are definitely D model Tomcats, and one of which one of the later D models apparently has the wing box intact. Now, for those of you who don't know the Tomcat, the center section that connects to the swing mechanism is basically a box. It's basically a wing spar, but
Hmm.
it's where the pivot points are for as the wings sweep. Most of the aircraft that you see in a museum, those have been cut, making the aircraft totally
Yeah.
unflyable.
You
Even
can't
though the
fly it.
airplane looks intact, the internal structure has been cut away, and the aircraft simply will never, ever, ever be capable of flying again. Well, apparently, one of those aircraft uh, does not have that done to it and has a relatively intact airframe.
Hmm.
And that one, they believe, may actually be able to return to flight status. Now, that's where things got a little crazy because the internet took off thinking that
It
these were
sure
going to get
did.
put back into active duty. They are not going to get put into active duty. And it's not all the remaining Tomcats. It's one Tomcat could be made flyable for air shows, air demonstrations,
Yep.
and
Special
heritage type
events.
flights.
Yep.
The other two aircraft that are mostly intact, I mean, they're from the pictures, they look intact, but they're not
You can't
suitable to
tell.
be returned to
Yeah.
flight service.
Yeah.
Those two, along with the one that can, is going to be transferred, I believe, to Huntsville.
Huntsville. Yep.
Yeah, where they have a facility there. They're going to do the restoration work, and then from there, they will either be transferred to museums. I mean, this is in some ways it's similar to the F-117 Nighthawk.